Alright everyone, welcome to the store creation module of the course, and in this lesson I'm going to be talking about creating your brand and developing your brand identity and the vision. So developing the vision. How do you develop the vision for your brand? The first thing I would recommend that you do is that you get inspiration from other big one-product brands. So I'm going to compile a list of one-product stores that I found and just go through that list, visit each and every store and see what they're doing, get a feel for it. That'll give you a lot of inspiration and it'll give you a lot of good ideas on where you need to be headed with your brand. Now the next step is to narrow down your niche. What's your brand all about? The narrower the better, right? You really don't want to go broad. If you go broad, you're competing with the likes of Amazon and eBay. So go narrow down your niche and figure out what your brand is all about. Why would your customers shop from you instead of anyone else, right? So what's the main thing that you have to offer as your brand? So think of the big picture. How will potential customers perceive your brand as they go on your website? What will they think? What will they think your main service is? Are they going to recognize right away? That's what these guys are offering. Or are they going to be confused and head off your website and go to Amazon because they don't trust it or they're confused? And that's why you want to narrow down your niche, right? You want to create a brand that you can position as an authoritative source within your niche. And that's key. So I'm just going to apply this to Flex Posture. When I was searching for products, I was searching within the health and beauty niche. But when I decided to test this posture product, I narrowed down my niche from health and beauty to just posture. So on this Flex Posture store, there's only posture improvement products. And the reason I did that is because I want the customers to perceive it as a brand that is an authoritative source for posture correctors, right? There's not that many brands that are authoritative sources for posture correctors. And what I wanted is that when people go on Flex Posture, when they see a Flex Posture ad with the logo and with the branding, they think right away, you know, this store sells posture correctors, and then they see the social proof on social media. It makes them think, okay, this is an authoritative source for posture correctors. So once I go on this website, I'm not going to go on Amazon and eBay and check because they're not going to have the same products as Flex Posture, right? That's kind of the whole idea that I wanted my customers to think as they were going through my website. Now, how do you choose your brand name? This is also a very important topic. You want to pick a name that's related to your product or to the niche, and this is really important. Obviously, you don't want to pick a general store name and use it for all your stores. For example, like Trend Deploy is a terrible name. Don't use a name like that. Pick a name related to your product or your niche. So in the Flex Posture case, I knew that I wanted to have the word posture in the name, and then I used a bunch of domain search tools and just thought of what word could go well with posture, and eventually came up with Flex Posture. So ideally, you want to look something with the .com extension available. .com is the most authoritative domain name extension. So if you have a .com, people will trust you slightly more than if you have like a .co, for instance, or other domain name extensions, .shop, things like that. So I would recommend trying to look for something with a .com. If .com is not available, my second choice is usually .co. Now, you want to pick something that is catchy, easy to say, and rolls off the tongue. So if your brand name is really difficult to say, it's probably not a good brand name because people aren't going to remember it, and it's not going to stick. So in my opinion, Flex Posture was quite catchy, it was quite easy to say, and it rolls off the tongue, right? It's easy to say, Flex Posture. And that's the type of thing you want. It could even be shorter. That's the only problem with Flex Posture, I think. It could have been shorter, or I don't know. I think it's a pretty good name. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, it needs to be catchy, easy to say. And these are two tools that you can use. So leandomainsearch.com and then Shopify Business Name Generator. What these tools do is they allow you to plug in one keyword that you want in your domain, and then it's going to look for a bunch of suggestions by matching it with different adjectives or words that would go with the name that you put. So for example, if you put posture in that, it would give you a bunch of suggestions of domain names that are available for the .com extension with the word posture in it, so it might say like magicalposture.com, even though I doubt that would be available. So these are two great tools that you can use. Use them both when you're searching for domain name ideas, and just be creative, right? Sometimes you can think of something totally quirky and something that's really clever related to your niche. And if that's the case, we'll go with that because that'll do even better than just a generic name like Flex Posture. But basically, you really want the brand name to reflect. When people hear your brand name, they should know right away what is your brand. What is your brand's offering to the customers? Now, designing your logo, obviously another very important part. If If you have a photo editor like Photoshop, you can design it yourself in just a few minutes. It's really not hard, especially with the current trend for how the logos are designed, right? Logos nowadays are extremely simple, extremely minimal, and clean, and that's what you want to do. And so it makes it easy for us who don't have very good design skills, right? You can really make a clean design yourself. So what I would recommend is using Photoshop to do this. Otherwise, you can use Canva. I've heard a lot of people making their own logos with Canva. And if you don't have the necessary skills, you can always purchase a logo on Fiverr. That's what I wrote here. So Fiverr.com offers logos for like $5. They're not as great, and usually it's not going to go along with your vision. It's not going to be as good if you do it yourself, because if you do it yourself, it can really align with the vision, right? The person who's designing the logo has no idea what your vision is for the brand. So unless if you do choose to go with the Fiverr route, be really picky. Tell them exactly what you want. So yeah, your logo, it must clearly communicate who you are as a brand. This is really important. And it must also be visually appealing. So a simple, clean design. So it's like the brand name, right? When people see your brand name, when people hear your brand name, they should know right away what your brand is. When people see your logo, they should know even more right away. What is this brand, right? And so this is, extremely important. So the general outline that I'll use to design a logo is that I'll find an icon or a cartoon image that I can use as the actual logo. And then I'm going to find a good font, and then I'm going to put them right next to each other, and that's going to be the website logo. So dafont.com is a great place to find design fonts. And so, for example, let's say that I was designing a logo for a dog store. And so I've already done an example with the dog store, and usually I go with the domain name pupmagic.com. So let's just say that you're creating the brand pupmagic.com. What I would probably do is I would go on Dafont, and then you can type in PupMagic. There's a preview section to let you preview fonts. So I would type in PupMagic, and then I would just go through a bunch of fonts, hundreds of different fonts, until I find one that matches the vision I have for the brand. So for a dog niche, it would probably be something like playful, kind of cartoony, but still modern and flat looking. And so I would find a good font, and then I would write out PupMagic in Photoshop. And then what I would probably do is I would go to Google, and I would search, an icon that can work well with dogs. So for example, a dog paw. I would look up dog paw, cartoon, PNG. PNG is going to allow you to find images with transparent backgrounds, and then I would save that image, put it onto Photoshop, and then there you go. I would have my logo. It would have a little paw icon, and then PupMagic. And then, you can customize the colors, whatever, to your liking. But that's the general thing you need to do for a logo, and that's exactly what I did for Flex Posture. So here are a few examples. So this is Flex Posture, the course case study. So as you can see, the logo is exactly what I said, right? I found this font on Dafont. I'm not sure exactly what the name of the font is, but I just wrote Flex Posture. I bolded the first word, flex, as you can see. So this word has more weight in terms of font weight. And then I added this little logo of a spinal, it's like a flat design for a spine, for the back, spinal cord or whatever. So this looks awesome, in my opinion, right? It really, when you see this, right away you think of posture. You see the word posture. It's pretty clear what this brand offers, right? It offers something related to posture health. Now, HiSmile also, smile. It has the word smile in it. The logo is like a big smiling mouth. So right away, this is probably, an oral hygiene brand or a teeth whitening brand. And that's the case. BlendJet. I really like this logo because it's extremely simple, right? Like, it's not even that hard to make a logo like this. It's really just being thoughtful about what you want to put off as a brand. So these guys, they just have a swirl, right? You could have literally probably searched swirl PNG on Google, and you would have found something similar to this. And then they just found a nice, simple, modern font. They italicized it a little bit, and they wrote BlendJet, TM. That's it. That's their logo. FitT, same thing. They just have two words. They contrasted the words with one of the words has a color, and the other is just black. And then they have their little leaf icon right here on the eye. So that's a little more clever. They could have put the leaf just right here, but they decided to put it on the eye, which makes it, look a little bit more clever. Teamy, they did the same thing, right? They literally copied that I idea, so they have the same thing, and then they also have a contrast between words. T, and then the me is bolded. Now, the last example, Snow Teeth Whitening. It's a competitor to HiSmile, a direct competitor, and, I really like their logo as well. They have a super simple logo. They just have like this flat design of a snowflake, so they probably made this themselves, but you could find inspiration online if you just type in like Snowflake Modern or Snowflake Flat, and then they just found a really nice font and they wrote their brand name, which is Snow. So that's how you create your brand identity. That's how you develop the vision for your brand. And you want to do this because if you don't have a good brand identity, people are not going to trust your website and your conversion rates are going to take a hit. So make sure that you spend some time developing your brand identity. All right, I'll see you guys in the next lesson. All right, everyone. So in this lesson, I'm going to be taking you through the Flex Posture store design to show you how I like to design one product stores. So as you can see, the store is very simple looking. This is debut theme and it's just customized a little bit, and it looks very clean. And so first off, when you're looking at your store's design, one thing that you want to keep in mind is that the vast majority of people are going to be on mobile. And so to preview your store on mobile, you can either just go on your phone or you can do this trick where you right click and then inspect. And then you can select right here, you can select a mobile device. And so that's what the store is going to look like on mobile. And so as you can see, super simple store. One thing that I like doing is I like having a consistent color scheme for my stores. And so in the case of Flex Posture, I chose this blue color as the main color for the store. And so you'll see that that color is everywhere. It's the header banner, the little icons, the buttons, the logo. And so it really makes everything match. And I think that it helps to make it look clean. And so this is the home page. Now the home page is not that important. Most people aren't going to visit your home page since you're going to be pushing traffic directly to the product page. However, you do want to have a nice home page in place in case people do visit. You don't want them to get thrown off by a missing home page, an incomplete home page. So this is what I like to do for my home page. I'll just have an image section with text and then a button that leads to the store. And then I have some bestsellers here, super simple. And then I don't have that many because I want to narrow down the selection, and I really want them to just pick this product essentially because this is the main product for the store. Now I have a few testimonials here. Once again, super simple. This is the default block by the debut theme, so you can just add this right onto your theme. And then right here I have an Instagram feed, and so this is the app called InstaFeed right here. It's the app called InstaFeed. And I like having this because it adds social proof and it looks nice. It tells your people that come on your website, it tells them that you have a social media presence if they didn't already know that. And, it reinforces trust to a certain extent. And also it can help, get more followers. Now, let's take a look at the product page. So, let's look at the shop page first. The shop page is, once again, just a default shop page. And then this is the main product page. So let's take a look. So yeah, super simple. The first thing you see when you land on the product page is this banner right here, 50% off regular prices today. And then there's just some product images here. So again, simple. Now here we have the star review. So this is from the app Looks Reviews. And then the sale price. And then I like to have this little text here that says free worldwide shipping, just to let them know that there's free worldwide shipping. And this is the app called Ultimate Sales Boost. And they have an option for a free shipping message, and that's the only thing I have turned on with Ultimate Sales Boost right now, but I like having this little message here. I think it looks neat. Now, just typical variant select. So as you can see, the variants should be properly matched. That's also very important. If I switch to the color, it properly updates. Now I have a trust badge. This trust badge is not necessary, and I don't use trust badges on my new stores, and I probably would remove it if I were to try to scale this store again. Trust badges aren't necessary if you have good enough branding and if if your website looks clean and you have an active social media page where you respond to customers all the time. You really don't need to have trust badges. Customers will trust you already, and that's the whole goal. Your goal should be to make your brand presence seem trustworthy enough that your customers don't need trust badges to feel safe. And so that's the goal. Now here I have quantity breaks. And so I'm going to be talking about this a little bit more in a future lesson about upsells and optimizing your average order value. But this is the best pre-purchase upsell that worked for the store. And so that's why I have this here. I changed the heading text to buy more, pay less. And one thing that I want to show you actually is if we go to the app, so that's the app discounted pricing. By default, it doesn't look like this, and so the way that I like to do it is I'll go to the offer, and I'll just have an H4. So I'll put a header 4 tag, an HTML tag for header 4, just to make it look like this. So it's a little bit bolded and that it's the same size as the rest of the text. So I think it looks nice when you have a header 4 tag for the title for discounted pricing, if you end up using that. Now, the product description is very simple. This is a product description that I actually, I took it from Amazon and then I modified it. And that's how I like to do it for product descriptions. Usually, there's really no need to reinvent the wheel. And so I like to go on Amazon and find a really good product description, and then I'll spin it a bit. So I'll change it. I'll change things around. I'll change some words. I'll make it more unique to my store. And so that's exactly what I did. So like if I go to Amazon, you'll see that. If I go to Amazon, you'll see that if you type in posture corrector, this one right here, you'll see that it's a very, very similar product description, right? Improve posture, reduce back pain, strong yet comfortable. Improve posture, reduce back pain, maximum comfort. And then the last 2 points are different, I think. Importance of good posture, flex guard support. I changed that to invisible for both men and women. And then I also changed the text here. And then one more thing that I did is I added this little sales paragraph here. You know, stand a little taller and with confidence wearing this posture corrective therapy back brace. Supporting all the right areas to align your neck and spine, this brace helps train your posture to maintain its upright position. And so, as you can see, it's really not a fancy product description. It just highlights the benefits and it makes it very clear what the product is. Now, you really don't need to have a crazy product description as long as you're just highlighting the benefits. You know, the more intense you go with your product description, with a bunch of images, with a bunch of different, you know, like crazy infographics to sell your product, that's when it starts looking a bit spammy, right? If you look at really big brands or even just Amazon, like Amazon descriptions are really simple, and Amazon's a great example of what a product description should look like. And so that's how I like to that's how I like to write the product descriptions, very simple. Now I like to have images, you know, at least one image in the product description, because once they read this whole description of text, you know, it kind of eases the eyes to have an image here and to remind them, you know, what the product looks like. And then here I have a size chart. Very important if you're selling a product like a posture corrector that has different sizes. You need to make sure that, you know, they're going to pick the right size. Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of returns. And so I wrote here, please review the sizing chart. Now, another thing you'll notice is this add to cart bar. So when I scroll past this, I get this add to cart bar. Now, this is from the app Add to Cart and Checkout Booster Pro. And I really like this app. You know, when people start scrolling down, let's say they scroll down all the way to here, and then they're like, okay, now this review makes them want to buy the product. Instead of having to scroll all the way back up, they can just add to cart right from here. And so I think it's a great app, and you know, it definitely helps increase the add to cart rate. Now I have all these reviews here, and this is from the app Looks Reviews. And so a lot of these I imported from AliExpress, but I didn't just straight import from AliExpress, because if you do that, you're not going to get the best review text. You know, the review text from AliExpress is usually like a great seller, or like it only took 2 weeks to Russia or something like that. I mean, they're really not great in-depth reviews. And so what you can do is you can actually just take the images from AliExpress and then go to Looks Reviews. And then you can go to Import Reviews. And then you can download this import template right here. And then with this import template, you can actually add on your own reviews. And so product handle here, and then the rating, the author, the email, the body of the text, and then this is where you can write your own reviews, and then created, so the date, and then a photo URL. So you can upload photos to your website and then put the URL here, and then you can import this review template back to your website. And so that's what I did. And the result is that, you know, you have these nice, clean looking reviews that, you know, really help convert visitors and that really convince them to buy. Now, one thing that I would do differently, and that I do differently on my new stores, is that I don't only add 5-star reviews, because that's unrealistic, and you know, some people are gonna be, you know, suspicious about that. They're gonna be, how come there's no bad reviews? They must be deleting all the bad reviews. And so you want to, you know, keep that in mind. You should have at least, you know, a few 3-star reviews, a few 4-star reviews. You know, if you only have 5-star reviews like this one, it does look a little suspect. And This one's 4-star review, and that's like the only 4-star review, I think. Let's see. I mean, there's a few other 4 stars like this one, but realistically, there should be a lot more 4-star reviews, and there should also be, 3-star reviews, and that will really help increase trust. It's a little bit counterintuitive, but if you do have lower reviews, it does help increase trust because they know that it's more likely to be real reviews. Now, another thing, I'll have a currency converter here, super standard. This is the app Bold Multi-Currency, and I like using this app. I think it's a great looking currency converter. It's super simple and it has geolocation, so it works great. Now, another thing you'll notice is I have this Recart app too, and this is just so they can message me. They can message any questions to our customer service on Facebook, and this is just a nice little touch. I think it also helps build trust. To have a direct line of contact with the store to ask them questions. Now, the problem with this is that you need to have people who reply fast, and so my customer support, replies in about 24 hours. So this wasn't ideal. People would send a message and then they would have to wait a long time to get a response. So not the most ideal thing, but it still helps to have, it shows them that you're there, you're accessible, and if they have problems, they can reach you with Messenger, with email, whatever. And so that's the general product page layout. Now let's take a look at the checkout. So this is when we get to the checkout. Now right here we have we have upsell offers from the discounted pricing app, and it's saying checkout within 15 minutes so we don't run out of stock. So checkout. And then when we get to the checkout, there is this little this checkout timer, and this is a little trick that you can do with Shopify checkout, and I talk about this on my YouTube channel already. So I have a video called Shopify Checkout Hack. It's super easy to set this up. However, once again, this is something that I don't do on my new stores because I think that too many people are doing it and it's starting to look a little bit spammy. And so I don't do this anymore either. And I think that Shopify is putting out an update where this trick won't work anymore. You won't be able to add this script to your store. And so this is a nice touch, but it's really not necessary. And so that's it. I mean, that's pretty much it for the store design. It's a really simple design. The hardest part about this whole design is really the logo, right? I mean, the logo is what puts it all together. And I think this is a really nice logo, the little spine right here. And so you do want to have a nice logo, and the store does not need to be complicated. This is a really simple looking store, and it works. It converts decently. So just to show you that, the average conversion rate over the whole 2018 year was 4.02%, which isn't that crazy. And with my new stores, I'm able to get a little bit higher conversion rate, well, quite a bit higher conversion rate, like 7%-ish. And the main difference is that I do is, first of all, I don't use trust badges anymore. I don't use any checkout timers like that. And another thing is I like changing the typography on the theme. So I still like using the debut theme. So let me show you what I mean. I still like using the debut theme, but right now on the Flex Posture store, this is the default typography. So if we go to typography, it's the default ones, WorkSaws and WorkSaws. And so nothing wrong with these fonts, but pretty much everyone who uses debut theme doesn't even change the fonts. And debut theme is the default theme by Shopify. And so this is like a very generic looking theme. And so if you want to stand out, a great way to do it is just to change your fonts. And now, how do you pick fonts? What you can do is you can go to this website here. It's called fontpair.co. And this website helps you pair fonts together. So it helps you pair heading and body fonts. And so you can keep scrolling down until you find a combination that you think really fits your brand and the image that you're trying to give off. And then use that for your store. And it'll look, it helps you stand out, like I said. And it really depends on what vibe you're going for with your store. So like this Carla and Carla one, I think looks nice. This looks cool too, kind of, but it would be for a very specific type of store, right? But you can really, stand out just with the typography, and these little details do make a big difference. That's really what creates your brand identity in the long run. And so that's a great tip. I mean, use fontpair.co and just try to find a font pair that suits your brand and then change it. Don't just stick to the default typography. That's another thing that I do now. And so that's pretty much it for this, this run through of the Flex Posture store's design. As I said, it's a very simple looking store. It's easy to replicate, and that was my goal with this case study. So you don't need to go, you don't need crazy themes. You don't need fancy coding. You don't need custom anything. All you really need is, a simple, clean looking theme that does the job and that gets people to the checkout page. And so that's it for this quick lesson, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, everyone. So in this lesson, I'm going to be showing you 2 apps that I like to use to optimize my backend and avoid leaving money on the table. So number one is SMS Bump, and this is an SMS marketing app. So as you can see, I've spent $1,000 on the automations for this app, and that brought in a return on investment of $7,000. So a 767% return on investment. So it's pretty good. And the way that I did this is extremely simple. All I did was literally went to the automation. So I installed the app. I went to automations. And then I turned on the abandoned cart. So literally the first 2 emails you can see here, abandoned cart, turned on active, and this one active as well. And that's all I did. So I only turned on those 2 automations, and I didn't edit them. I just left them by default because, these are optimized by default. So it literally just says, hey, first name, we noticed there were some items left in your Flex Posture shopping cart. If you're ready to complete your order, your cart is waiting for your return at, and then the URL. So that's all I did for SMS Bump, and that, that helps bring in a little bit of extra revenue that you could, that you would just leave on the table otherwise. Now, if you go to settings, another thing that I did is I went to, so I have quiet hours enabled from 10 to 9 a.m. But another thing that I did is I have this auto recharge thing. So this avoids me having to go check on SMS Bump every time. So what I did is I enabled auto recharge, and I said add $40 to my account when my balance falls below $10, and do not spend more than $1,000 per month. So what this does is this just make sure that there's always going to be enough balance to send out the text messages, and I don't have to keep checking on SMS Bump. But overall, this is a really simple app to use, and there's no reason why you wouldn't want to do it, right? And so the other one is Conversio. Conversio is a email marketing app. It's a really good one. It has a lot of options. And to be honest with you, I really didn't take advantage of it to the fullest with this brand. And as a matter of fact, I actually uninstalled it, and I had to reinstall it just for this course because, when you have a really large email list, and this Flex Posture store was starting to build a really, really big email list, it was starting to cost like $300, $400 a month, and I was barely running anything on the store. So I decided just to uninstall for now, since I'm not using the email list. So I backed up the email list and I uninstalled the app just to make sure that I wasn't wasting that $400 per month. But I'm going to show you how you can use Conversio to quickly set up an abandoned cart email sequence, and just to avoid missing out on easy profits. So what you want to do is you just want to download Conversio and then go to the abandoned cart section, right? And then you go to campaigns, and you can just turn on this default campaign. And by default, this is why I really like Conversio, is that their default abandonment cart campaign is really good. So the first contact, let's see what it says. And you can obviously edit all of this, right? And the setup is super easy. They just ask you to upload your logo, and then they automatically make all these emails. And so, as you can see, the first one is just Flex Posture. There's something in your cart. Would you like to complete your purchase? And this is an hour after they abandoned the cart. Now the second contact, we can't send your products to you yet because you haven't completed the purchase. We included a discount below, which you can use if you complete your purchase today. And then they generate a coupon code for you. And then the last one, the last contact is going to say, this is your last chance. So today is the last day to complete your purchase with your discount code. And they give you the discount code again. So this is really great. And you can obviously modify this, but by default, these are actually really good. And then it actually sends another one after 7 days, which is just, a down offer. So after those 3 emails, they don't want to purchase still. Okay, well, instead we're going to offer them to just join our email list. And then, we can, when we have like special promotions like Black Friday or, other big sales, then you can send out a mass email, and then that'll do. You'll have more people to send it to. So I really like this abandoned cart sequence. It's super easy to set up, and you can set this up in just like 2-3 minutes. Now, another thing you want to do if you're going to set up this abandoned cart sequence is you want to go to your settings, and then you want to go to checkout. And then you want to, there's an option here that says, right here, automatically send abandoned checkout emails. So you want to uncheck this because now you have Conversio doing it. So you don't want to have 2 different emails sending it out. So you want to uncheck those, and then you just have the Conversio ones going, and then that'll do great. Now, another thing is you want it to pre-check the phone number. So when it says to check out, you want to have customers can check out using their phone number or email, because this is what SMS Bump is going to grab this is where SMS Bump is going to grab the phone number. And then you want to go to show a sign up option at checkout, and then pre-select the sign up option. So this is going to be off by default. You want to have it on. And what this will do is it'll just increase the amount of phone numbers you'll be able to collect, as well as emails. And it'll really help you send more of these abandoned cart sequences. So that's pretty much it for the back end, guys. Really simple. You can go a lot more in depth with this, but that's really not the point of this course. I just want to show you an overview of this store and how I did over $1 million in sales. So, email marketing, it's a great tool, and I could have taken advantage of it a lot more than just having this abandoned cart sequence. And I did on special events like Black Friday. Black Friday, I ran a lot of email sequences, and they did do pretty well. So just one more thing when you're setting up Conversio is you want to go to the settings and make sure that you have the proper domain name for your email. So number one, you want to make sure that the sender name is good. So the from name, you just want to change that. You don't want your own personal name, so you can put the brand name, Flex Posture. And then the from email, this should be your support or your sales email, one or the other. So I like to use this support, and I'm going to use support@flexposture.com. And then save those settings. And then you want to make sure that your domain is verified. So right here, there's going to be a verification process for your domain. So you just want to put in your domain.com, flexposture.com, and then start the domain verification process. And there's going to be a whole process, but for me, it says domain already exists in registry because I already did that. So you want to make sure that you have those settings, in check, so that you have the right email address and that the from name is good. Now, another thing that you can do is you can test using, instead of just a brand name, you can test using a personal name. So you could say Sarah from Flex Posture, for example. And then you could just check if making that small change will increase the amount of people that open your emails or not. Because some people say that if you use a girl name in the sender name, it gets higher open rates. Now, I'm not a big believer in that, and I see that, I just try to model what big brands are doing, and usually I see big brands, they just use their brand name for their email marketing. So I just use the brand name, and that's what I like to do. But yeah, basically make sure that your domain name is registered and that you modify those sender settings. All right, so in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about average order value optimization. Now, average order value optimization is important because you want to make sure that you're getting the highest amount per sale that you can be getting, which allows you to spend more on ads. And so this is very important, and you want to make sure that you do this once you start generating a little bit of traffic. Now, you really don't, it's not that important to start off doing average order value optimization when you're first starting a new store, because you don't even know, that's not the main priority. The main priority is figuring out a way to get traffic and to generate sales and to get a good conversion rate. And then once you get that going, then you can start split testing these different optimization techniques that I'm going to be talking about in this lesson. So first off, pre-purchase. Now this is the first thing that you should be testing, pre-purchase upsells. So pre-purchase upsells, there's two main ones that I like to use. I'm going to be showing you an example for each after I explain them. So pre-purchase. Basically, this is when you upsell people before they finish their order. So the two ways that I like to do it is either with discounted pricing, and this is quantity break. So I'm sure you guys have seen this before, and this is just like, buy 2, get 10% off, buy 3, get 15, buy 4, get 20, things like that. And this is just, tiered pricing to encourage people to buy more. Now, this can work great. And so that's one thing that you can do. And then the other one is a discounted upsell in the cart. Now, this is when the cart meets certain requirements, then you can have a little pop-up in the cart that says, add this item to your order for 30% off, or for only $5, or, get an extra pair for $5. Things like that. That's a discounted cart upsell, and those can also work really well. And so the best option for you really depends on the type of product that you have. And so what I would recommend doing is split testing both. So what you can do is you can set up, let's say, discounted pricing, so quantity breaks. You can set that up for 1 day. You can set that up for 2 days, and then let it running for 2 days and see what your average order value is over those 2 days. And then switch to a discounted upsell, discounted cart upsell. I'm going to show you an example for both once again. Switch to a discounted cart upsell, and then leave that going for 2 days, and then see which one gives you the best average order value. Is it the discounted pricing or the discounted upsell? And so this is what I did for Flex Posture. So for Flex Posture, the one that ended up bringing the highest average order value was this quantity breaks. And so I had a simple quantity breaks, buy more, pay less. And then if they bought more than 2, I would give 15% off. And if they bought 3 or more, I would give 20% off. And so this gave me a better average order value than discounted upsells. So to set this up, I like to use the app Discounted Pricing, and all I did was minimum quantity 15% off, and then 20% off, and then you select the product. Really straightforward how to set this up. And so that's what I did. Now for the other option that I was talking about, a discounted upsell, this is what I was testing. I was saying get 50% off another back brace. And so this one didn't work as well, but for another store that I'm running right now, I'm doing something very similar to this, and it's working amazingly. And so you really do want to split test both to see what works best for you. And so this one, you can say, get 50% off for another back brace. You could even say like buy one, get one 50% off. And so, they add one to cart, and then they get to the cart, and then they see buy one, get one 50% off, add to cart, and then it adds it to the cart. And so that's a discounted cart upsell, and those can also work quite well. Now, another thing you can do with quantity breaks, and this is something that I could have done with Flex Posture, is you can test charging for shipping by default. So let's say that, let's just go to US dollar prices so everything's easier. This thing's giving me a hard time. There we go. And so $25.99. So let's say that I'm giving a 15% discount. So I could say free shipping for all orders over $40. So I could have that as my banner right here: free shipping for all orders over $40. And I tell them that if you buy two, you get a 15% discount. And so now they're gonna have two reasons why they should order two, right? Because they want free shipping and they get a 15% off discount. And so that's another way that you can really convince people to upsell people. You can charge shipping by default and then upsell them. If they get two, then they get free shipping. And so that's another thing you can do pre-purchase. And so you really want to test all these different combinations, find the best way to increase your average order value. And so I think that's something that I didn't focus enough on for Flex Posture, and that's something that I'm focusing a lot more on my new stores. And so, as you can see, it's not 100% critical. You can still get by without heavily testing different upsell combinations, but it will help you profit the most with your store. Now, the other way to upsell, let's go back to this presentation. So yeah, split test both of these and then pick the one that works best. Now, the other way to upsell is post-purchase. Now, I wouldn't recommend getting into post-purchase upsells unless you're actually doing big numbers. You're already scaling, to 5K a day or more. And this is when, a lot of people recommend testing Zipify one-click upsell, which is a post-purchase upsell. Now, there's other alternatives to this as well. You can use Cart Hook, but most people recommend Zipify one-click upsell. And so what this does is it replaces the Shopify checkout, and it allows you to upsell someone after the checkout. So once someone finishes placing their order, you can have another pop-up that says, wait, your order isn't finished yet. Add this, for an extra only $5, you can get another one, or something like that. And so the good part about post-purchase upsells is that it's supposed to be the best time to upsell, because people, when you want to get that first sale first, right? Remove all the friction. And so when you add upsells in like the cart, for example, that can be considered friction. It could scare people away, and it could hurt your conversion rate. Now, in my experience, I haven't really seen that much friction by pre-purchase upsells, and so that's why I'm not that big of a post-purchase upsell guy. But if you want to really test everything, this is something you should be testing. Zipify one-click upsell. Then you can, instead of doing pre-purchase upsells, you can upsell them after checkout. And you can even just do both. You can upsell them before and then upsell them after checkout if you really want to be pushy. Now, this is not something I necessarily recommend, but this is something you can start testing. And so I tested this for Flex Posture, and the results weren't that great. And I didn't test. To be fair, I didn't test it extensively, but just to show you what I was doing, and then give you an idea. So you do want to, it is good to test this. And so this is what my Zipify one-click upsell looked like. So they would finish their order and it said, wait, your order is not complete. And then one-time offer, 50% off our best-selling posture corrector. And then, they would have the opportunity to buy another one for 50% off. And then, and then at the end it says, no thanks, I'll pass. And then there would be like a countdown here in real time. And so that's the idea. That's how you can use a post-purchase upsell to increase your average order value. And this is only something that I recommend doing once you already are scaling. When you're just starting out, that's not the main priority. Is focusing on getting an ad that can drive conversions, and then having a website that converts people. So, and then, once you have those things in place and you want to increase your profitability, that's when you can start thinking about different strategies to increase the average order value. So that's it for this lesson, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright everyone, so in this lesson I'm going to be showing you how I made the first ad for Flex Posture using Anymoto. So Anymoto is a paid video editor, but it's like $20 a month and it's super easy to use, and it's the software that I use to make all my video ads. And I'm going to show you the first ad that I made for Flex Posture and show you how I made it. So this is the first ad, so let's just preview it, and let's just so I can give you an idea. So I'm going to mute this before it makes too much noise. Generating preview. So as you can see, people are going crazy over this. Posture corrective therapy back brace. It's designed to help pull the shoulders back and uses magnetic therapy to help ease back pains. It's discreet and easy to wear under clothes. Click the link below to get yours 50% off now. So this was the first ad that I used for Flex Posture. Now, how did I make this ad? Well, so I did a bunch of research to find all the clips with this product that I could find. So these two clips right here with the guy wearing it, I got it straight from the supplier. So this supplier of the product had a video showing how it works, right? So I took that video right from there for these two clips. Now this one I found on YouTube, and as long as there's no face in a video from YouTube, you should be okay. Now, don't take that as like legal advice or anything. It's technically you're not allowed to just rip videos from YouTube, right? So you want to move from that away move away from that as soon as possible. But things like this, like animations and everything, like it's very unlikely that anyone's gonna like see you, especially since like it's in the middle of your video. Like, what are the odds that they're gonna see it? And it's not like you're not putting someone's face in there. So yeah, I used this clip, and this clip I think really helps. So when you're advertising a product that solves a problem, you really want to show how it solves the problem right away. And so this clip does that, right? It shows someone with rounded shoulders, and then that little the little magic effect, and then it shows it getting up straight. It shows like the breasts coming out, and so it really shows the posture getting aligned. And so this clip right here definitely helps a lot with sales, and it helps to get people's attention. So you want to find a clip like this. Like if you're doing health products, a great tip for health products is animations like this work well. Like, people just love animations for some reason. Now this one too, same thing. It shows how the brace gets put on, and then magically the shoulders get pulled back. So another great video, and I could have tested this as like the second video instead of this one. Right here I put a subtle before and after. You don't actually want to just do like a before and after comparison, because Facebook is definitely going to disable that. And then right here, this is just to show the magnetic therapy. So I grabbed this from YouTube. Again, another animation. People love animations, especially for health and beauty products. And then this is just a quick clip to show that it's easy to wear under clothes. So these are all clips that I grabbed from YouTube and from the supplier. And then I put them together on Anymoto. I chopped them up into 4 to 6 second clips. This one's 7 seconds, but most of them are 4 to 6 seconds. And then I wrote this quick script and I put it all together. And so that's how I made my first ad. And that's the first ad that I ran on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm going to be talking about that later. And I started making a lot more ads. This was just the first one, but all my ads were made with Anymoto. And this was just to show you the first one. So when you're first, starting and you store a new product, one product store, you're not going to have original content to work with. And so this is usually what your ad's going to look like. It's going to be a bunch of clips from a bunch of different sources. And then you just need to piece it together and make it look clean. And so that's what I did. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about the design that I used, I just put the logo watermark, and then the video background accent color both black, and then Roboto for the font. Nowadays, I like to use Montserrat. I think it looks better, but Roboto was the one I used for this one. And that's pretty much it. And then that's the ad that I used. Nowadays, I would not use this watermark either. So I would remove the watermark, and I would actually just put a watermark afterwards right in the center, because this watermark is kind of useless. If you're in the dropshipping space already, you might have seen this ad around, because it's been copied a lot, and people either just slap their logo in the corner here, or they'll put like a white banner here that says tag someone who needs this, and either way it hides your logo and your watermark. So if you're going to watermark, you're going to have to put it right in the center. And I'm going to be showing you that as well in future lessons. So that's it for this lesson. Alright, so in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about how you can develop your marketing strategy. Now, I put this in the store creation module because the next two modules are influencer marketing on Instagram and then Facebook ads marketing. And I wanted to talk about how you can plan out your marketing strategy because there's different paths you can take. You could start with influencers, you could start with Facebook ads, and I wanted to help you decide how to structure that. So if you have a smaller ad budget, less than $1,000, I would recommend starting with Instagram influencers to start collecting some data and kickstart your sales. Now, by no means do you have to start with Instagram influencers. If you want to jump into Facebook ads right away, go ahead, and it's going to be the same blueprint and you have the same access to the module. However, I think that starting with Instagram influencers to kickstart your sales and start collecting more data can help a lot. And then once you have more pixel data and more capital to work with, then you can switch over to Facebook ads and it should be a smooth transition. Now, if you do have a larger ad budget, which is, I'd say, over $1,000, then you could even skip straight into the Facebook ads module. So you could skip the Instagram influencers module for now and then start just with Facebook ads. And if you struggle with Facebook ads, then you could give Instagram influencers a shot. You know, the module is always going to be there. You can go back to it. But, you know, you could if you want, you could skip straight to Facebook ads because that's usually what people want to do. They want to jump right into Facebook ads, and Facebook ads is more consistent, so that does make sense. So if you have a larger budget, you could skip straight to the Facebook ads module. Now, what did I do for Flex Posture? I started right away with Facebook ads. And when my Facebook ads were underperforming, what I would do is I would work on creating new content for Facebook ads. And while I was doing that, I would transition to Instagram influencers with the Facebook ads content that I was using. So as my Facebook ads started declining in performance, I would work on making new content. And while that new content was being made, I would use the old content from Facebook ads on Instagram influencers to do, to start generating more sales with Instagram influencers when Facebook ads wasn't doing as well. And so basically I was using both strategies simultaneously. And when you do that, you can actually retarget people from Instagram with Facebook ads. And I'm going to talk about that in the Facebook ads module as well. But that's a great strategy. And retargeting Instagram profile visitors, things like that, usually works great. Now, how do you create your marketing offer? Creating your marketing offer is important. It's the same marketing offer for both Instagram influencers or Facebook ads. You just need to have a core marketing offer that you're going to be using to promote your product. Now, there's different things you can base your marketing offer on. You could base it on price. Now, this is the standard thing that everyone does, and it's not that great, but it can work well. So, get it while it's still 50% off. Now, if you're selling a product that solves a problem, your main marketing offer should be solving that problem. So, basically calling out that problem and offering the solution. That should be your marketing offer. And to show you an example of that in practice, here's a Flex Posture ad that did extremely well. As you can see, 10 million views. And so in the first few seconds of the video, I call out the problem right away. Slouch much with with a few emojis, and it shows the posture getting fixed. Now this calls out the problem right away, and in the video caption, I offer the solution. Improve your posture instantly. Now I combine that with the price offer, which is get it while it's still 50% off. So that makes it sound like it's a limited time. Plus it's 50% off plus free worldwide shipping, and get yours here. So that was an example of combining a problem-solving offer plus a price-based offer. And that's what I did for most of the ads for Flex Posture. Now, you could also base some marketing offers off of scarcity. So one example of that is this photo here. This is a photo that I retargeted with a lot, and I was saying our best-selling posture corrective brace is finally back in stock, right? So that makes it seem like, okay, we completely ran out of stock and we have a limited stock. So and that also gives social proof, right? That means a lot of people are buying it, and so this is kind of like an example of scarcity, and get it while it's still 50% off plus free shipping. And so that's another example of what you can do. And so another thing you could also do is base your offer on novelty. So a new product, if it's a product that's not available anywhere in stores, you can put that in your ads, you can put that in your description, and that can be your marketing offer. Like, you can't get this product anywhere else, so get it from us. And so these are things to keep in mind. You want to have a core marketing offer to base your whole strategy around. And so I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more in the other modules, but I wanted to introduce that in this video so that we can be all on the same page when we move on to the marketing modules. So yeah, that's it for this lesson. All right, everyone, so welcome to the Instagram influencer marketing module. And in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about personal influencers versus page influencers and which one you should focus on. So personal influencers are kind of like internet celebrities or real life celebrities that have a large following and they have an influence on their followers. And so that's why we call them influencers, because they can influence their followers' purchasing decisions. Now, when you're starting out with dropshipping, I recommend staying away from these personal influencers because you need to have good products and you need to have, branded products. You need to have fast shipping. Otherwise, the influencer will not want to work with you. I mean, you can just put yourself in that Instagram influencer's shoes, right? If you're, a famous Instagrammer and then some, weird dropshipping store says, hey, you want to do some collaboration, and then you get a product from China. It takes 3 weeks to arrive, and it's like this low quality product. There's no way they're going to want to promote that to their followers, right? They genuinely care about what they promote. So, I recommend staying away from personal influencers until you have a good system in place and you have, custom products or private labeled products. Otherwise, you're not going to get a good return on investment. Plus, you're going to have a hard time finding, Instagram influencers that are willing to work with you. Now, personal influencer posts are also very expensive. So if you're going to do those Instagram influencer posts, you need to have a really good offer in place. So like I said, personal influencers, that's something you want to do in the longer term once you start, actually branding and getting your own products and getting your own warehouse. So this is an example. This is Sugar Bear Hair, very big influencer marketing brand. They scale to millions of dollars in sales with just influencer marketing. And all they do is they find influencers like this, and they promote their hair gummies, which are like, in the shape of like a little bear. And so that's an example. But now the thing that I'm focusing on for dropshipping for Instagram is page influencers. So for dropshipping, these influencers are better because you don't need to send the product to the person. All you need to do is you send them the ad that you want to post and then you pay them. And that's as simple as that. So you're basically paying for a spot on their feed for 24 hours or for 12 hours or whatever. So there's a big difference, right? It's not an actual person. It's just a page. It's anonymous. And so that person doesn't really care about what they're posting on their feed. They just want money. And so certain pages like this, for example, meme pages are a good example. Girl pages where they put like girl quotes, theme pages, for example, like fishing pages or like dog pages. There's hundreds of thousands, even like probably millions of those pages on Instagram. And so these are the pages that I'm talking about when I refer to influencer marketing mainly for dropshipping. Now, these pages do charge a lot less than personal influencers for the same amount of followers, and they typically offer a promotion on their feed for a given time frame. So 2 to 24 hours is usually what they offer, and they'll have different prices based on that. So that's how the page influencers work. And this is an example of a page influencer post. So this is a page called Moody Teen Post, and they were promoting this keychain. So, they try to make it fit in with the post. So, like, it's literally the little things that matter the most. He gave me this keychain and made my day. So people, they try to make it seem like it's not an ad so that people don't just scroll right past it. And so, some people probably thought, hey, that's really cute. I'm going to get this for my girlfriend or something like that. And they bought it. And so that's the whole idea behind Instagram influencer page posts. So as a beginner, you want to stick to page influencers to get the best return. And once you start building a real brand and you have good fulfillment, good products, then you want to switch to personal influencers because that's how you get real awareness for your brand. But as a dropshipper, stick to page influencers. And that's it for this lesson, and I'm going to see you in the next one. All right, everyone. So in this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how to set up your Instagram page before you run Instagram influencer promotions. Now, this is important because usually people are going to visit your page first and then decide whether or not to purchase. So this is the Flex Posture Instagram page, and it's really simple. So what I recommend is that you have at least nine pieces of content on an Instagram page before you start running promotions. Now, this is important just because it's like on mobile, when you first open up an Instagram profile, you can see 9 photos. So it just shows that you're at least active enough to have one page filled up. And that's what I usually recommend. Now, these 3 posts up here, those are posts that this is custom video content. So if you're just starting out with dropshipping, you wouldn't have this content. However, this is all content that was from AliExpress, and yeah, so you could definitely replicate this. And so this is how I like to set up my pages. So I'll have my logo here. So this is the Flex Posture logo, the store name, and then the kind of the slogan, the catchphrase for your store: easily improve your posture. That's the same slogan that I have on the home page. Easily improve your posture, and then top rated posture corrective brace. So I'm just outlining what's the main thing that we sell. And then doing my offer, free worldwide shipping, 50% off, and then a link here. Now, this is important because you want to really put a lot of attention to the main call to action, which is the link on your Instagram profile. This is where people are going to be able to purchase. So That's the general layout for your profile. Now you also want to have those posts, like I said. So these are just pictures from AliExpress, right? So I took this picture from AliExpress, improve your posture instantly. We're finally back in stock. This doesn't matter that much, right? But you just want to make it look like your page is actually active. So here I put a little quote. This is a funny quote. To get these quotes, I look at other brands who post quotes like this. So for example, Bright or White. These guys post quotes all the time, and so if you're looking for fillers for your Instagram profile, this is a great place to get some, like these little quotes. And if you actually want a beauty charcoal, this is one of my brands, and I have a lot of those quotes here as well, and so I can take them from here, and feel free to take those quotes as well from beauty charcoal. And so basically these quotes are just fillers when you don't have enough content to post. Now this is just a little infographic that I found on Google: poor posture, good posture. And so you guys get the idea, right? So what I like to do is alternate with one photo and then one white background photo. So, but here they're pretty much all white backgrounds, so it doesn't really make a difference. And simple captions: our best-selling posture corrective brace on sale now. Improve your posture naturally without disturbing your regular routine. Right here again, improve your posture naturally and ease back pains with our corrective brace. Our best-selling posture corrective brace is finally in stock. So, all the captions are pretty much the same thing. It doesn't really matter that much, but you just want to set this all up. And then right here, same thing, more photos. Another one: bad posture left unchecked can cause back pains, fatigue, and higher stress levels. So I'm outlining the problem, and then I'm offering them a solution: improve your posture and ease back pains with our posture corrector. Now, all of this makes the page look more active and legit once you start running Instagram promotions. Now, another thing that you want to do is you want to have some social proof before you go into this. So you don't want to have 0 followers, and you don't want to have all these posts with no likes and comments. So the solution to that is obviously it's buying fake engagement. Now, you don't want to overdo it on that, but if you go to this website, smmfollows.com, it's extremely cheap. It's extremely cheap to get social proof. So I have $7 balance here. So as you can see, Instagram likes, they're 10 cents for like 1,000. So it's extremely cheap. You could go to Instagram followers guaranteed, and then for 1,000 followers, it's $1.38. So you could buy 5,000 followers for like $6 or $7, and that would be enough for social proof. Now, one thing I would recommend actually is if you're going to run Instagram promotions, I would recommend buying at least 10,000 Instagram followers, so that you get access to the swipe up story. For example, this right here, this doesn't let you see it, but what I like to do is I like to have a swipe up story on my Instagram profile whenever I'm running these Instagram promotions, because when you have a swipe up story, it has this little red, it has a circle around here that makes your page look more active essentially, and people will want to click on your story, and then you can have a swipe up link that drives them right to your store. So I'll usually just have a version of my video ad. So this I think I just took this ad and then I put it in story mode, and then I had a swipe up, and that helped drive traffic as well. And that's basically all you need when you're setting up your Instagram page. You don't need anything crazy. You just need at least 9 photos, some likes on each photo, some comments, and enough followers that you can do a swipe up post. And that's the basic setup for an Instagram page before you start running Instagram influencer promotions. All right, everyone. So in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about how you can make viral ads for Instagram influencer pages based on how the Instagram algorithm works. And then at the end of the lesson, I'm also going to be showing you a few examples from Flex Posture. So first off, what works better, videos or images? In my experience, videos tend to work a lot better. However, you can still make image ads work if it's the right type of product. But in my experience, really, videos have a higher chance of going viral. They tend to be a lot more engaging, and they give you a better opportunity to really sell the prospects on your product. So for example, with a posture corrector, with a video, I can really highlight what the problem is. So I can say like, do you slouch a lot, or back pains, something like that. And then I can offer them the solution, which is the posture corrector. And so with a video, I get like 30 to 40 seconds to really sell them on the product, versus an image ad for the same product. Like if I advertise the posture corrector with just an image ad of like a posture corrector, people probably wouldn't be that interested, right? They would just be like, what is this? And they would just scroll right past it. But with the video, I can make it look, I can make it look cool. I can sell them on the product. I can show them that it's going to solve their problem. And that way, they're much more likely to actually purchase the product. And so for most products, I would say that videos are the way to go, especially for most like dropshipping products, most problem-solving type of products. Now, if you are selling something like a t-shirt with a really nice design, You don't need to be worried about a video, right? Because everyone knows how a t-shirt works. And so all you really need to do is get a really nice image ad that showcases your design. So like probably like a lifestyle photo with a model wearing your t-shirt. That would work really well for a product like that. But for most products, I would definitely say video ads. Now, this is probably the most important thing in my opinion about making viral ads for Instagram is you want to make your content blend in with the content of the page that you're advertising on. Now, there's two main benefits and two main reasons why you should really try to make your content blend in. Number one is that by making your content blend in, people are much more likely to actually pay attention to it and not scroll right past it. Like, you have to know that people on Instagram don't like seeing ads. And if they're following an influencer page, it's because they want to see that page's content. They don't want to see your ads, right? Like if, for example, if you're going to advertise on a meme page, people followed that meme page because they want to see memes. They don't want to see ads. And so what you need to do is you need to make your content blend in. So you need to make it look like a meme, for example. And that way they wouldn't know right away that it's an ad. They wouldn't scroll right past it because people are getting really good at people always have been good at pattern recognition. And so people are seeing so many ads nowadays that they can just recognize without even have to think about it. They can recognize that it's an ad and they're just going to scroll right past it. So by making your content blend in, like the example of the meme page, by making your ad into a sort of a meme and like the same format as a meme, they're much more likely to actually pay attention to your ad, and that ad is going to do a lot better. Now, another benefit is that if your content blends in, the owner of the page is going to be much more likely to actually want to post that. And so he's going to give you better prices and he won't overcharge you, and he'll be much more likely to actually want to do business with you long term. And so if you have good content that's not spammy and that blends in with the influencer page's feed and the rest of the content on the page, then you can negotiate more, you can get better prices, and it just works a lot better. And so you definitely want to focus on making your content blend in. Now, how do you do this? You want to observe how influencers do it to get inspiration. Really just make your content not look like an ad. Make it look like it's just, a post that page decided to post. And so, like I was talking about with the memes, a great way to make your content blend in is to make it into a meme/text post. And so text post is what people call those posts where there's like white borders and then there's like text at the top. And it's kind of like the general, the accepted format for a meme pretty much. And so the way you can do this is you can create those with your app, with an app on your phone called InShot. So that's what I use to make them. I use InShot, and InShot allows you to add the white borders and to add text to the top. And you can try to make it blend in. So you want to make it seem like it's not an ad. You don't want to just write at the top like, oh my gosh, I need this. That's something that worked really well a few years ago, but it worked well not even that long ago, like just last year, and it can still work today. But what I'm saying is that you want to be creative. You want to make it look like it's actually the page who posted it, right? And one great way that you can do this is you can just ask them for advice, right? You can say like, hey, this is my ad. I think, right now it doesn't really blend in with your content. Can you give me some tips on how I can make this blend in with your page better? Or can you help me turn this post into a text post? You can ask them that too, and they'll know what you mean. They know what text posts are. So you can say, can you help me turn this into a text post? And then they'll say like, sure. And then they can come up with the text that they themselves would actually write instead of what you as an advertiser would write. And it can look a lot more natural, and the performance of your promo will be a lot better. So definitely focus on making your content blend in. And I'm going to be showing you at the end of the presentation some examples from Flex Posture to show you how I worked on making it blend in. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what makes a post go viral on Instagram. And basically, it really comes down to your post getting shown on the Explore page. So if you don't know already, the Explore page is a page on the Instagram app where people basically go once they've already finished scrolling through their feed and they want to see more content. They want to see, popular content right now. And so people go to the Explore page. Now, if you get your content on the Explore page, that's when it really goes viral. And so your main goal should be to try to get on the Explore page with these Instagram page promotions, right? What you're basically doing is you're using the influencer pages as leverage to get your content on the Explore page. Now, you can do, like, influencer posts can do really well just by getting the followers of a page, right? Like if you're doing a meme page with like 200,000 followers, that's still 200,000 followers that you can reach without hitting the Explore page. But as soon as you hit the Explore page, that's when you can actually reach millions of people. And so you should definitely be keeping these factors in mind when you're doing these Instagram page promotions, because your goal should be to try to hit the Explore page. So these are the 4 main factors in my experience that matter the most when you're trying to get a post ranked on the Explore page. And I'm going to break them down individually. So the four factors are power likes, like and comment velocity, the thumbnail, and how engaging your content is. So power likes, what are power likes? Basically, Instagram doesn't value all likes equally, and if you get likes on a post from big pages, that helps your post do better. So basically, Instagram uses likes as like a metric to determine which posts are better. But to avoid, because there's so many fake likes, there's so many like spammy accounts, so the way that they do it is that they actually weigh the likes based on how big a page is. And so if you get like hundreds of thousands of likes from like fake accounts, that doesn't do anything to rank your post. It won't help you at all. But if you get a bunch of likes from pages that have 100,000, 200,000 followers, real active pages, if they all like your content, that's a sign to Instagram that you have a really good, you have really good content, and it should be shown to more people. Like to give you another example, like if Selena Gomez, which is the #1 most followed person on Instagram, if she likes your post instantly goes viral because she has so much authority in Instagram's eyes, and her like is so powerful. And so your post would instantly be shown on the Instagram Explore page. And so that's the idea with power likes. And so how do you take advantage of power likes? Well, one thing you can do is you can build relationships with other large pages and create engagement groups. And then you can share your posts in those groups and get them to like and comment on them. That's one way to do it. That takes a lot of work. And so personally, I don't do that. It's difficult, and you need to already have a big page. Like it's a mutual thing, right? They're not just going to only like your stuff. You also have to like their stuff. And so you need to be a power like as well. And so if you have like 5,000 likes or like less than that on your page, no one's going to want to create like engagement groups with you. And so, engagement groups, they're a little bit difficult to work with. And in my experience, like it doesn't even work that well. Like you really need to get a lot of power likes for that to work. And so not something that I focus on specifically, but it's something that you could look into. And I know that a lot of people make it work. And so, yeah, like I said, I don't personally really take advantage of power likes myself. The only time that I do take advantage of power likes is sometimes when I work with Instagram influencer pages, and if I find like a very viral looking Instagram page, usually the reason why they're so viral is that they're taking advantage of a system like power likes. And so I'll ask them, I'll say, hey, can we do a post together, and I want you to do power likes for me. And so they're gonna charge me like $20 more, but they're gonna do their service of getting power likes on the post to hopefully get it to go viral. Now, this is kind of a hit or miss. I think I've done like 3 of those, and one of them went quite viral, and 2 of them just didn't do well at all. And so it's not a guaranteed thing. Like just because you have power likes doesn't mean your post instantly goes viral. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And that's one of the main factors, like how powerful the likes you're getting on your posts are make a big difference whether or not you're going to be shown in the Explore page. Now, another really important factor is the velocity of like and comments. So the speed of how fast your post gets likes and comments. So as soon as you post something new, the first like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, those first few minutes really matter. You want to get a lot of likes and comments fast in that period, because Instagram is going to measure it, is going to determine how fast are you getting engagement, how explosive is the reaction to this post. And if there's a post that's really explosive, that's getting a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, to Instagram's eyes, that's going to mean this is a post that's about to go viral. Let's help it out. Let's show it on the Explore page. And so if you get a lot of likes and comments really fast, there's a good chance that you're going to be shown on the Explore page, at least for a little bit. And so that's something that you want to do. You want to try to get a lot of likes and comments fast, and they need to be real. Like Instagram's not stupid. They have like some of the smartest algorithms in the world, so you really can't fake these things like and comment velocity. The only way to really take advantage of this is actually to encourage users to engage with your post. And you have to be clever about it. So for example, something that a lot of people do is they just write tag someone who needs this. And that can work. People will tag each other and stuff, but that's getting kind of old now, and so you need to be more clever than that. And so you can say something like, you can make like a very controversial statement or something related to your product or related to your ad, and that'll get a lot of people talking, right? Or you can make a really funny joke. That'll get a lot of people tagging each other, having discussions. And so you have to be clever and get a lot of people to engage with it, and that way you're going to get a high like and comment velocity and have a good chance of getting ranked in the Explore page. Now, like I said about the tag someone who needs this thing. I use things similar to that, and it's worked well in the past. And for flex posture, one thing that I did do, I was like, tag someone who needs to fix their posture ASAP, and then I'd have like a little laughing emoji. And so, the whole idea behind that was that people were going to react like, I'm not going to tag my friend who has poor posture. Like, that's so mean, and things like that. And so it would encourage people to engage with the post, even though they weren't actually like tagging their friends because they needed the product, but it still got the post a lot of engagement. Another important factor when you're trying to get your videos on the Explore page is the thumbnail. Having a good thumbnail will make all the difference. And the reason is that once Instagram starts showing your ad on the Explore page, it's going to start measuring the click-through rate to see if people are actually interested in your post. And so it's going to measure out of all the people that it's showing it to on the Explore page, how many people are actually clicking on your video to watch the whole thing. And if it's showing it to a bunch of people and no one's clicking through on your video because, the thumbnail isn't enticing enough, it doesn't make them want to click on your video, then it's going to swap it out for something that is more enticing with a higher click-through rate. And so you want to have a good thumbnail so that you have a good click-through rate. And this is really important. And so how do you make a good thumbnail? Well, a good thumbnail needs to be enticing. It needs to make the user want to watch your video. And so it needs to be kind of like, there's different strategies to have a good thumbnail. It can be super random. You can have just a good looking girl. You can have, you can just do some blatant clickbait, which works well for getting views. Like if you have some like really crazy thing that's not even in your video, like you can just add an image to the last second of your video just so you can select that as a thumbnail. And then that'll, you can do some crazy clickbait with that, and it'll work well for getting a lot of views, but not for sales because, who's going to buy from a company that just did some blatant clickbait to advertise their product, right? And so definitely don't recommend doing blatant clickbait. What I recommend is just testing different frames of your video that are kind of weird or that, show something that looks good or, basically anything that makes the user want to click through on your video to see what it's all about. And so I'm going to show you the examples for flex posture. It doesn't need to be that crazy. It's just subtle differences but if you don't select the thumbnail, it's probably not going to be a good frame of the video, right? So just by selecting a thumbnail that looks good, that can make all the difference. Now, the last important factor when you're trying to get your video ranked on the Explore page is having good quality content. Now, this is obvious, but it's very important. If you don't have good quality content, your videos won't do great, right? Like the Instagram algorithm is really smart and it only wants to show good content. And so the main way that it does this is that it takes into account the percentage of the video watched on average. So if people watch 1 second of your video and then they're like, what is this? This is like the worst video ever. And then they just stop watching it. They're not going to keep distributing your posts. So you need to have a good watch time. And that's another reason why clickbait isn't the best way to do it. Because if you get people to watch, if you bait people to watch your video, but then it's a totally different thing than the thing that you clickbaited them with, then they're just going to leave right away. Then your watch time is going to be terrible and the video won't do well. And so you want to have good quality content that, actually gets people involved and watch the whole thing. And if they watch the whole thing, there's a much better chance that your video is going to start being shown on the Explore page. So those are the 4 main factors. I'm going to go back to the summary of them. So power likes, like and comment velocity, thumbnail, and engaging content. Now, if I had to say what are the most important things you need to focus on when you're doing Instagram influencer posts, number 1 would be this right here, making your content blend in. This is the number 1 thing I would tell you to focus on. You want your content to blend in. You don't want it to look spammy, and you want it to look nice so that Instagram pages actually want to work with you and give you good prices. So that's the number 1 thing you need to do is you need to make good content that blends in. Now, the second most important thing I would say is thumbnail. So you want to make sure that you have a good thumbnail that, will get people clicking. And then good content, just as important as the thumbnail, you need to have great content. This one's obvious. And then like and comment velocity, also extremely important. And to do this, I would focus on, getting people engaged, provoking a reaction with your audience by using clever tactics, either engagement baiting, like tag someone, or by being funny, or by being controversial, something like that, also very important. And then lastly, power likes. You can try to take advantage of those, but that's definitely not the first thing that I would focus on, especially if you're a beginner. I would pretty much just ignore this whole power likes thing, and I would focus on making your content blend in and getting a good thumbnail, and then getting this like and comment velocity up by provoking a reaction in your audience. So just to show you some examples of the posts that I was doing for Flex Posture. So this was the main video that I was running for Instagram influencer pages for Flex Posture, and I show you later on how I made this video. I made it for Facebook ads, and so it's in the Facebook ads module, but I repurposed it later on for Instagram influencers, and all I did to do that was I made it into kind of like a text post, a meme style post, where I added the white borders, and then I just added this text at the top that says, I need to fix my posture ASAP. Now notice how I didn't say like, fix your posture ASAP with @FlexPosture, right? I could have done that, but I wanted to make it look like it was the owner of the page, the person that the people actually followed, and I made it seem like it was that person commenting on my ad, right? I need to fix my posture ASAP, and then I just had a nice video, the same video that I used for Facebook. And then I also put my watermark here to make sure that people don't copy it. But that's what I was doing. And so as you can see, I made it blend in, right? Like when they first see this, it doesn't immediately look like an ad. One thing I would do differently is I wouldn't have this watermark here. That was from, I was using that on Facebook and I had the watermark here, but I wouldn't have that. And I already had one there anyway, so I really didn't need it. And so I would remove this watermark because that kind of, that goes against the whole making it blend in thing. And so that was the type of post I was using. Now the thumbnails that worked best, this one worked really well right here, where she's just looking into the camera, looking really sad, slouching a bit, and it says, I need to fix my posture. This would get people clicking. And then another one that would get people clicking is right at the start when she's like, right here, where it says, this device corrects your posture, and then she has like a really big smile, big lips. She's great, like she's a good looking girl. And so people would click on that, and it worked really well. And then this is another one that worked really well, same thing. She's good looking, she's standing tall. People are like, what? Like, it's just kind of random too, right? Like she's just going like this. People are like, what is that? And they're just going to click on it, right? So you see that I'm not doing any crazy type of clickbait. I'm just testing like individual frames for the video that look nice. And I'm using those as my thumbnails to, entice people to click on my video. And so that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing for these ads. And that's pretty much it for this lesson on how you can make ads that go viral by understanding the Instagram algorithm. Now in the next lesson, I'm going to be talking about how you can find these pages and make deals with them. And I'm going to be showing you more examples of posts that I did with Flex Posture. So I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, and I'm going to be seeing you in the next one. All right, so in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about how you can find active influencer pages to promote on and make deals with them. So what are you looking for? Typically, pages in the 100 to 500K range will perform the best and give you the best return on investment. Now, it really depends what you're looking for. For example, with Flex Posture, I was looking for volume. I wanted to sell a lot with minimal effort. So I would go for pages that were, a little bit bigger than 500K. I would go for like 2 million, 3 million pages. And those pages will give you a smaller return on ad spend, except you'll get more sales in general. So really the way it is the smaller you go, the higher the return on ad spend, but the more posts you'll have to book to start scaling. So I think the sweet spot for most people is 100K to 500K followers. Now, the page must also be coherent with your niche in terms of demographics. So if you're selling a product that targets, young women, the influencer page should have an audience mainly composed of young women. And if you're unsure, sometimes you can't really tell. You can ask the page owner for audience insights. So just tell them, hey, I want to do promotions with you. Just before I can I just check your audience insights? I want to see the demographics. And as long as you don't come off as someone just trying to waste their time, they'll be glad to send you the audience insights. Now, another thing is you want a page that doesn't sell a lot of promotions. The more promotions a page posts, the more the followers are going to become immune to those promotions and inactive, So if you find a post, if you're doing research for pages and you find a page that's done like 3 promotions just that day, that's a huge no-no, right? Instantly, you shouldn't want to do business with them because, their followers are just seeing page promotions day after day and they're just becoming immune to them. Now, another thing is you want a page that has an active follower base. Now, there's a cool tool for that. It's called igaudit.io. And I ran an IG audit for this page right here, Lifehack. So it has 5.8 million followers. This is one of the pages that I used for Flex Posture. And as you can see, the estimated real followers are 62%. So this uses a bunch of data points and it gives you an estimate on the amount of real followers. So one thing that I look for is an estimate of real followers above 50%, especially for those really big pages. And if I'm going to the 100 to 500K range, I would typically want something above 70% or 80% real followers. The higher amount of followers you go, the less likely, they're going to have a rating of 80%. So that's why I lowered it to 50%. But obviously, the better the IG audit, the better the follower base. Another thing you can check is the amount of engagement in the comments, right? So if a page has a bunch of fake engagement, like if you just look at every post and there's virtually no real discussions happening, it's just a bunch of emojis and people saying like, thanks for sharing this content, you really inspire me, like a bunch of fake comments, typical fake comments that you can just see spammed everywhere on Instagram, you know that that's not a good page. A good page will have real discussions happening in the comments, real comment chains, people, debating things. And so you can tell. And also comment likes, real comment sections have a lot of comment likes. People like the top comments and people talk about them. They reply to the top comments. If you don't see that happening in the comments, it could either just be a non-engaging post, in which case you can scroll a little bit further and see if some of their older posts actually have a lot of engagement. But if none of their posts have real engagement, then that probably means it's not a good page. So those are the main criteria you're looking for. Now, how do you actually go ahead and look for these pages? Well, the main way that I like to do it is I'll create an account for my brand. So for Flex Posture, for example, and I would follow a bunch of influencers in my niche and start engaging with their posts. So I would follow kind of general influencers with more women followers than men, and the demographic was around 25-year-old, around there. So that's the niche that was the demographic that I was targeting. And so as I started following and engaging with those people's pages, with their posts and everything, I started seeing more and more pages like that on my Explore page. So all I would have to do to search for influencers is I would scroll through my Explore page and I would look for regular posts going viral. And when I found posts like that, then I would check the page and I would see if it meets all my criteria. I would do an IG audit, and if everything looked good, then I would hit them up and see if we could work out a deal. Now, there's another method. It's the suggestions method, I like to call it. It's when you find a really good page, there's a little arrow that you can press, and it's going to give you a drop down of related pages. And so if you find one good page, the suggestions method will help you find a bunch of other good pages. Now, there's really no easy way to find good pages to promote. You really just have to look deeper and just do a lot of research if you want to do a lot of good Instagram influencer promotions. There's no miracle solution to finding good pages to promote on. So now, what pages do you want to avoid? Any page that sends you a DM first asking if you want promos, that's not a good deal. So just ignore them, right? If it's a good page, they would be getting people DMing them, not the other way around. So the fact that they're DMing you means it's a terrible page and they're just trying to make money off of you. Now, DIY pages, food pages, there's a ton of pages like this. Usually they're all terrible. They're all ran by, just people who don't really know, people who just really want to make money selling promotions, you know what I mean? So I've tested a lot of them, and a lot of time they look really convincing. They look like they would do well, and they just never do well. So DIY pages, food pages, stay away. Fake celebrity pages, another one that you want to stay away. For example, there's a ton of fake Ariana Grande pages where they just post a bunch of viral posts about Ariana Grande, and some of their posts are extremely active, and so I've tested them a few times, and it never does well. So fake celeb pages, don't stay away from those. And the last one is large pages, so pages that have over 1 million followers that post multiple promos daily. So large pages in general, you don't have to avoid them. Large pages can be good. However, large pages that only post promos, so you see a lot of these, and they post promos 3-4 times a day, stay away from them because they charge a lot because they have a lot of followers, but since they post so often, the promos don't do well, and so it's a terrible deal. So avoid those pages at all costs. Now, how do you get in touch with these pages? Super easy. You just DM the page. You have something eye-catching in the first line. So for example, some fire emojis, business related. This will catch their attention. It's sort of like the subject line. And then after that, you can just write, hey, can I buy a promotion? You don't need to write this long explanation why you're doing it. People understand that you just want a promotion. And then often they'll say, yeah, sure, can I see the post? Then you send them the post by DM. And then if you can't get a reply by DM, you have to comment on their last pick. So if they post something 10 minutes ago, go comment on their pick. And you can even comment 2-3 times, just say check DM. And so that'll help you get their attention, and then maybe they'll check DM and reply to you. Now, some pages don't reply at all. And honestly, those are the pages that you should push the hardest for. The pages, in my experience, the pages that I had to work the hardest to get in touch with provided the best results. And the reason is that these are the pages that do the least promotions, right? And they have a ton of people like me. If they're not replying, it's because a bunch of people are interested in their service and they just don't care because they don't want to post that many promotions, and whenever they do, they already have people lined up. And so keep trying for those pages because they're the best one to advertise on, and eventually they're going to need some money. So that's a good way to do it. Now, making deals. You want to make deals with these pages. You want to negotiate. Instagram influencers is all about negotiating. So usually you can offer for a 12-hour post. 12-hour posts are the best bang for your buck. Most of the activity of your post will happen within the first 3-4 hours. And after 12 hours, it starts really dying down. However, if your post does go viral, you could, and you only paid for 12 hours, then you want to message the influencer and extend it for another 12 or 24 hours, because if it's on the Explore page and it's still getting a lot of views, you don't want them to delete it. Now, you always want to ask for their prices first. Don't offer first because you really don't know what their prices are. So always ask for their prices first and then undercut them. So usually I undercut them about 25%, and I say, can we do this for this price, 25% undercut, and then as a first post discount. So that's usually the excuse that I say for why I should get that discount. So I'm like, hey, can we do 25% as a first post discount? And if it does well, I'll be interested in buying a bulk deal. Now, saying that you'd be interested in buying a bulk deal helps them realize that there's long-term potential with you as a business partner, and so they're more likely to actually give you that 25% first post discount. Now, scheduling your post, you want to schedule your post ahead of time. So usually I'll make a deal and then I'll schedule it for the next day, and I'll schedule it for around 3 p.m. Eastern time. So this is the time that I found works best to post Instagram page ads. Now, bulk deals are a great way to save money once you found a page that gives you good results. And so you definitely want to make bulk deals with the best pages that you find. So usually I'll negotiate a good rate for 5 posts at once. And you can really cut down the price. So if you paid like $100 for one post, you could pay like $60 times 5, so $300 for 5, and so you basically get 2 free. So you have to negotiate, but people they don't think rationally when they see a large sum of money, right? So if you offer them 5 posts up front, they're willing to undercut their prices a lot. And so this is good for building long-term relationships, and you can negotiate lower prices consistently since you've been doing business for a while. So if you keep renewing your bulk deal, eventually you can say like, hey, we've been doing this for a while. Like, is there any chance we could lower it another like 10% since we've been doing business for a while together? And usually that works well. And the only issue with bulk deals is that you can, get scammed. So I would never do a bulk deal unless I do at least 1 or 2 posts prior to make sure that, they're actually going to post it, that the post does well and everything. And then you can start thinking about a bulk deal, but make sure that, it doesn't seem too sketchy. If something seems sketchy and seems off and you think you're going to get scammed, then just hold off and don't do it. And also make sure to send your payment as goods and services, not friends and family, because friends and family, you can't request a refund. Everyone's going to ask for friends and family payment. You just say, hey, I need to send as goods and services for accounting. I can cover the fee. And then they'll basically ask that you add like another few dollars to the payment so that they don't get charged the fee. All right, so I just searched through my phone to find some screenshots of promotions that I did for Flex Posture, and I found 3 screenshots of promotions that went well for Flex Posture. So hopefully this can give you an idea of what these promotions should look like. So as you can see, I'm just posting the text post that I was showing you earlier. I need to fix my posture ASAP. And then this one says, tag someone who needs to fix their posture ASAP. And then the caption, always the same thing. And, very simple caption. You really don't need to overthink the caption. You basically just want to, highlight what your product does, highlight the marketing offer that your main marketing offer for your product. And then you want to have the main call to action, which is linking them to your profile. So what I like doing is I like having 2 emojis like this pointing to my, the @ username. And so, so they really can't miss it and they want to click it. Now, even if they, if they click your profile and then they don't end up buying, it's still good because then you can retarget that on Facebook. You can create a custom audience for people who've visited your profile on Instagram, and then you can retarget them since they've shown interest in your product. And so that's why you really want to just push them towards your page. You don't want to have like a direct link or anything. You want them to visit your page first and then have the link on your page. And so all 3 of these promotions did quite well. As you can see, this one got 106,000 views. This one got 143,000 views in just 2 hours. And then this one got 250,000 views in 23 hours. And so that's what the promotions for Flex Posture looked like on Instagram influencers. Now, how did I keep track of them? I made a little sheet on Google Sheets, promos for flex posture, and a very simple layout. So I just had a column for the username, a column for whether or not it's completed. So let's say that I had, a bulk deal for 5 posts with this username at Shades of Snobs. I would do 0 out of 5. And then, once they post one, I would update this to 1 out of 5. And then if I need any notes, I can be like posting next on Thursday or something like that. So this just helps you keep track of, what promotions you have going on, what deals you have going on, and so that you don't forget, right? Because once you start scaling a little bit with influencers, you're going to have a lot of posts, and you can't just keep track of all of that in your head. Otherwise, you're going to go crazy. So, having a little spreadsheet like this helps a lot. So that's it for this quick video, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson. All right, everyone. So in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about the power of micro-influencers. So I'm going to be talking about how you can use micro-influencers to grow your brand, and then I'm going to be showing you an example of a micro-influencer that posted about flex posture, and that led to over $10,000 in sales with just that one post, and the best part is that I didn't have to pay for it. So let's get into it. So micro-influencers. Micro-influencers are personal influencers, so not page influencers, real people, personal influencers with 50K to 500K followers. And so you can get them to post about your product by sending free samples or negotiating deals. So a great way to do it is literally just send them free samples. Just, be like, hey, we think you like this product. We want to send it to you just to try it out, and be all nice about it. And then make sure that there's fast shipping, because obviously if it takes forever to get there and it comes like from China, they're not going to want to post. I mean, even if it comes from China but it comes fast, then they're going to, maybe they won't care. And so you can send them their product, you can send them products and just be nice to them, and hopefully they'll share, they'll say thanks for sending me this product or things like that. Or you can just negotiate deals straight up, say, hey, we'll send you this product. If you like it, can you post about it? We'll pay you $200, or how much do you usually charge for a post on your feed? Now, like I said earlier in this module, it is difficult to work with personal influencers when you're dropshipping, but it's still possible. And when you do pull it off, you can get crazy results. And so the reason why micro-influencers work so well is because the audience already knows and trusts them. It's similar to a warm audience on Facebook. When people already know your brand, and then you can retarget them, and then that provides the highest return on ad spend. It's the same thing with these micro-influencers. They have an audience of people that trust them. And so if they recommend a product, that audience already trusts them, and then there's so much less friction, and people will just buy right away if, someone they look up to is recommending it. And so one promotion can bring a lot of sales. So how do you find them? Well, truthfully, there's no easy way. There are databases that you can pay for, but they're usually over $1,000 a month, and so I definitely don't recommend that. What you can do instead is just search through the profiles of brands that do a lot of influencer marketing. So for example, I put 4 examples here: Sugar Bear Hair, High Smile Teeth, Fashion Nova, Kylie Cosmetics, and this really depends on your niche, but you can look at other brands within your niche who do a lot of influencer marketing, and then see who they tag in their posts, and see who tagged them in posts. Really, you can just keep searching to find influencers. There's so many that there's just not an easy way. It's really all about just searching, because there's literally billions of accounts on Instagram, so you have to dig deep. And so you want to search through hashtags also. That's a good way to do it. If you have like a very niche product, like something about pets, then you can search for pet lovers or whatever. And you can also search on theme pages related to your brand. So for example, if you have a product that would do well with a makeup audience, then you can look up big makeup pages and then see which influencers are being featured on those big makeup pages. If they're being featured, then they probably have, a good reputation, and so their audience would trust them when they recommend a product. And so that's another way to find some influencers. Now, the main problem, like I already said, is that it's difficult to get them to work with you if you're dropshipping. And so the way to avoid this is, first of all, you want to build a real connection with the influencer. And so you have to be nice to them, talk to them like you're a real person. You're trying to promote your brand. You want some help. Don't just like treat them as like a data point or something like that. And then also, when you do, if they do agree to, another thing is, don't be like, you have to just let them, like, not everyone's going to post about you can't agree to have a post about your product without them trying the product first. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you have a product like a posture corrector, for example, no one's going to agree to post about a posture corrector unless they try it out before, then they see that they like it, right? Because otherwise they're not going to recommend that to their followers. And so a lot of the time you're going to need to just have some sunk costs of sending them the product for free, which might cost you $5, $10. And then you're not even sure if you're going to get anything back. But it's just it's an investment. And then, if you're lucky, that person might even thank you. They might put in their story, thanks at Flex Posture for sending me this for free, or things like that, which can then bring you attention. And then if they like the product, then you can set up some deals. And so that's how it kind of works. You have to let them try the product first and then see if they'd be willing to help you promote it. Now, another thing is that you want to make sure that you're shipping out the product fast. Now, there's a few ways to do this. One way that you can do it is you can actually use Amazon if you're just drop shipping. So if your product is the same, like for example, the posture corrector, there's a ton of it. There's tons of the same product listed on Amazon. And so what you could do is you could just order it from Amazon to the influencer's address so that it gets there in like under, in just a few days. It can get there really quick, and then she's going to be impressed, and then she's going to promote it to her audience, thinking that it's fast shipping. Now, that's kind of sleazy in a sense, because then, she's going to promote it to her audience, and then her audience is going to have to wait a long time to get it. But, this is something that you can do to actually make the influencers more willing to work with you. So now I want to show you the example that I was talking about, and this is really cool, and here it is. And so this is an influencer that I didn't have to pay her. I didn't have to reach out. This just happened by itself. Like this, I saw this post and I was like, holy, like this is pretty amazing. So I didn't have to, I didn't do any personal influencer marketing for Flex Posture. That wasn't something that I focused on, even though clearly maybe I should have, because this is a great example of what I could have done with it. But this is someone who just saw my ad on social media, and then she decided to buy the product, and then she got the product. And so this is another benefit of having, good shipping times, because if it took too long to arrive, she wouldn't have promoted it. But since I have, since I was using an agent and I was using another shipping method than ePacket, it's called Yoon Express, I was able to deliver under 2 weeks. And so, she didn't think anything of the shipping time. She wasn't mad about it. And she decided to make a video about the product. And the video went viral. It got 423,000 views. And so she literally, she wrote a long post about this posture corrector. She says, this is something I hate admitting and I'm insecure about, but I have the worst posture. And, she talks about how she has, big breasts, which is not great for her posture. And so a lot of people could relate to that. And she made this really good video. Like, this video was really effective at showing the problem. Like, she's showing how, the back pain, she's showing how rounded shoulders, and then she's showing, it's much better when it's straight. And then she's like, oh, it just always goes back no matter what I do. And she's really showing, she's showing the problem, and then, oh, what is this? It's the solution. And so she, probably without knowing, she created like an amazing ad for this product. Like, it highlights the problem and then it offers a solution. And so great marketing. And so this ad was amazing. And then, the before and after thumbnail, as you can see, it shows her rounded shoulders and it shows her proper posture. And so this ad went completely viral. It got 423,000 views, which is more than she usually gets, right? She gets like 100,000 views usually. And this one got 423,000 views, 13,000 likes. Just a really, really great result overall. And so with just this post, the first day, this post did alone over $10,000 in sales, and I didn't pay for it. That's the crazy thing. So over $10,000 in sales just from this post. And then, over the next couple of days, it was still getting a lot of views because it was like getting suggested. It was on the Explore page. And so, that was even more free sales over time from just this ad. So really crazy how you can, how the power of micro influencers, people underestimate them, but you can really tap into this and get some crazy results. Now, just to show you her profile, it's ready to glow. So she has 189,000 followers. Pretty normal influencer. She does like makeup type videos, I believe. She's based in Canada. And so this is the type of influencer that you can really tap into to get some crazy results like this. 189,000 followers, it doesn't seem like a lot, and it doesn't seem like you could do crazy, get crazy results with this type of influencer, but you definitely can. And so that's it for this lesson, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.